Good evening, everyone. So it is Sunday night. That's why I'm not outside right now. But I just wanted to say hello and welcome to day 14. So I do realize that last week I called it Sunday Slumber, and I realized that there isn't much I can talk about when I talk about sleep. Otherwise, discuss my dreams with you, but my dreams also get so confusing from time to time that I also get confused by myself, and I might say something that might be unpalatable to, of course, viewers and listeners. So rather than that, why not call Sundays Super Sundays? And so, welcome to Super Sunday. This would be Super Sunday episode 1. And of course, apart from just talking about, how we can keep our Sunday super and ensure that, we enter the new week on a high note rather than, what ends up happening. Um, is to also make sure that the Super Sunday pretty much leads into Motivation Monday. And of course, as with, um, on this Super Sunday, I definitely have a certain piece of news, which I will share towards the end of this video. But more so, to start off with Super Sunday, I just wanted to say that one of the best things I actually ended up doing was just pretty much planning how how to pretty much um, navigate walking today, especially after I do any kind of cardiovascular workout at home. So at home, currently I do have a bike that I do use um, um, less often than I should. I definitely should use it maybe at least once to 3 times a week. But of course, I think this was the first time I used it after a few weeks. Um, Maybe it was a few months also. But rather than just say that, but one of the things that I do notice after using the bike is that my legs end up being very very shaky. They almost feel it almost feels like I have no power remaining in my knees, and pretty much my legs entirely. And I do have a walking stick, which I generally do not need to use on a day-to-day basis. I generally do take the help of, let's say, a wall, anything in between that I can hold on to. But this time I actually ended up putting the walking stick right next to the bike, so that once I got off the bike, I actually used the walking stick to pretty much simulate what it would feel like to um, to have a walking stick when I am feeling a certain level of fatigue. And I would definitely, one thing that I definitely realized was that having a walking stick is pretty good because it did provide a certain level of balance. But apart from that, I still realized that I was using my other hand to grab onto other things that I could position myself to give myself just a little extra level of um, give a little extra amount of stability to me. And so I just wanted to ask all of the viewers here, what are certain things that you do, say if you're in that situation where you are experiencing a lot of fatigue, and you do have a walking stick, but you do realize that your other hand also needs a certain level of stability, something to hold on to. So what would you do in these cases? So do share your insights, so that I can also get to know a little bit better. I'm actually thinking about what would happen if I have two walking sticks, or maybe get something that resembles more like a crutch, which I have seen um, you know I have seen online and on TV shows where people do use that more than just a walking stick, which technically is not pretty much attached. It does not have any sort of attachment apart from your hand just holding it. So do share what you would do in this scenario, because I think if you are an MS patient like me, or if you do have any other autoimmune conditions which do give you that sense of fatigue that impacts your legs especially. I would love to um, read your comments and pretty much put them into exercise, so that I can also try out different things and find what tends to work the best for me. Apart from that, yeah, just like I said, usually when I am generally in a much more active state, a much more rested state, I generally see I do pretty well with just having a walking stick, and that walking stick just being there in the case of any balance issues that I might have, especially when walking on uneven ground, which generally tends to happen outdoors. So do share it, because that way I can definitely focus a little more on working or walking outside, and that will be very helpful for me. So apart from that, I did say that I do have a little piece of news, and this piece of news is that um, I am traveling to the United States to attend my sister's wedding from the 7th of October all the way to the 31st of October. So what does that mean for this channel? Essentially, I will still be posting. Hopefully it will be as often as a daily vlog, and of course this will be slightly the vlogs will probably change to more of a you know travel diaries sort of vlogging happening with small with images, videos of some of the activities I've had in the US. I will be in quite a few cities during my travels, and definitely hope to share some of the adventures that I have there. So I am very excited for it, and hopefully I can share all of that excitement with you. So that is the little piece of news I have for you. But I do want to also share that you know I am taking a few things with me, just in terms of you know making sure that my US trip remains as successful as possible. And um, you know within those few helpful things, there is going to be a wheelchair, and this is more for traveling long distances. Usually, say it is an airport, a mall, anywhere where there is, of course, there is the you know um, idea of walking very long distances, but also I will be using a walking stick over there as well, so that you know it's not only that, okay, fine, if I have to travel, I will only travel sitting down, right? I do want to experience, I do want to maintain a level of activity over in the United States as well, because I will not be, of course, I will not have access to my gym. I will not have access to personal training or anything of that nature over there. So yeah, do also share any tips you might have when you do travel for an extended period of time. What are some of the things that you do? What are some of the exercises that you um, undertake so that you maintain your level of activity and you don't end up coming back in a worse state than when you left. So do share your opinions on that as well, and that will be so helpful. And so thank you, and yes, welcome to Super Sunday. And yeah, thanks so much. And oh yes, I did want to say something. um, so after I return from the US, I will actually evaluate what I want to pretty much turn this channel into, where there might be a little more interaction with viewers, asking more questions, maybe talking about daily life. Of course, this is supposed to be a daily vlog channel. Unfortunately, my life is about as boring as a piece of white paper. So I just I do but I do want to um, bring certain things that will, of course, um, help or provide insight to how I live my day-to-day life, and maybe certain things that do impact me. And so there might be a difference come November, of how I upload these videos, how I pretty much run this channel. So if you do have any insights on that, or if you do want to comment anything on that, you can of course do that. So there has been quite a few things that I've asked over here. One being, what do you do when you feel a lot of fatigue in your legs? Number two, um, what kind of what kind of content you want to see for me, starting November, when I will come back from the United States. And of course, the third one being anything else that you might have to share in regards to living life with MS, how you tend to make your Sunday super, so that you're all ready and excited for the next week. So thanks so much, and you have a great rest of the weekend.